Students of Reddit, what are your favorite studying tips? When you are studying, try to be the teacher in your head for a second. If you can't simply explain the topic, you don't understand it yet. Spend a lot of time finding a space. Mine was the campus library. During COVID, it has been a very quiet corner in the basement. I go there every weekday, 9-5. I wake up, do the intro to Dexter, and head straight to it. I leave only for class and office hours with TAs or profs. Otherwise, I'm bent over the desk reading and typing. Come exam time, I have completed assignment material and reading notes to review. There is little to review that is new to me. Only through this kind of process have I been able to do well in school. I wish I had known it earlier. I tell this to people who have done well in school their entire lives, and they are like, yeah. No shit. This kind of stuff doesn't come second nature to all of us. Edit. Oh, and you really have to stop at 5 unless it's finals time. Ensuring you stop at a reasonable time ensures that you can endure the pace. Enjoying social time is also amazing. When you feel the accomplishment of having put in a good day's work. Study more than you party. Sleep more than you study. If you really pay attention during lectures or readings or when you first learn something, it's that much less time you'll need to spend later on reviewing. I really don't study that much for exams, but I always make sure I understand everything. I learn the first time I'm learning it. What worked for me for my graduate studies was taking constant breaks. After 20-40 minutes of uninterrupted study, I would set up a timer and take a 5-10 minute break in between. There's also a really good app called Forest. Stay focused that can help. Basically, you set up timers in the app. It can block notifications on your phone so you stay focused. And when the timer ends, you can see a little plant growing. The more you use the timers, the more plants you see growing in your little forest. It is really rewarding. Hope this helps. Good luck with your studies. Just a small tip. If you have music playing while studying, because you don't like studying in silence, I'd recommend something that doesn't have lyrics. I usually go for film scores or classical music. Breaks the silence, but doesn't take my focus away from studying. Read the textbook before class and take notes on it, along with questions you have. Leave enough space so you can add to the class, and highlight what is really important. Doing this, I never fell behind my professor trying to write everything down, and I had some great questions ready to go for the lecture. Knowing what the prof wants makes writing things like essays, etc., easier. Knowing what the prof wants and tweaking the subject in a way they've probably never seen before, to make it more interesting, will probably get you. And regardless of how good the writing is, though keep in mind the latter only works if it's a professor that's into that kind of thing. A lot of profs genuinely only want to see their opinion in someone else's writing. That's why going to class is so important, so you can get a read on the prof's attitude. Study your prof like you would study your books. This advice applies outside of college too. Mirroring is a very real technique to use in careers as well. By far making your own Anki or Quizlet, then using a method like Pomodoro to review it. There are studies that show the best way to retain information is through elaborative intake rather than just reading or listening to new information. Flashcard making forces you to write it down and develop enough of an understanding to make your own questions. This also gives you the opportunity to make connections to things you have already learned. Another good way you can learn things is by somehow connecting it to your personal life, which is something we know automatically. After this, you need to go through these flashcards in a spaced out way before an exam. Anki does this automatically for you. Another way is by checking your understanding to see if you can teach your friends the concepts with no gaps of knowledge. This shows mastery of a subject. First, not every study method is viable for you. If something isn't working, try something else. That being said, here are a few that worked for me. Work in short sessions. Listen to music. My preference is lo-fi because the smooth bass and minimal vocals helps me focus. Take notes in class. Even if you never read them, they're helpful for paying attention. Treat your schoolwork like a game. Plan, organize, and determine the best route of attack. If you're like me and thrive on competition, start a friendly, low to no stakes competition, one with friends. Alternatively, try to contextualize your work in whatever way suits you best. Go somewhere you can concentrate. It could be anywhere. I used the library or any of the lobby or hallway spaces with a table and chairs. I knew that if I was at home, I would get nothing done. Study with others whenever possible. Ask each other questions. Work through problems together. And do your best to explain to them what it is you are trying to learn. Trying to teach something exposes any gaps in your own knowledge. Professor here. Go to office hours. Ask questions during class. Please come to office hours. We have to be in our office then, and I would just be doing random stuff cause no students would come. Don't try to spend more than 30 minutes at a time studying. Your brain will get tired. Study sober because you will be taking the test sober. Teach the subject to an imaginary class. When you explain stuff, you learn it better. Find your space to study. Could be your dorm, the library, a coffee shop. I had a student who took her dog to the campus dog park and studied there. People rarely used it, so it was perfect for her. 1. Treat school like it's a job. Be doing something academically or professionally. Productive for 30-40 hours a week at minimum. 2. For major related classes. Make an effort to meet with the prof at least once a week during office hours. Many profs love to talk about their work, and doubly so when the other person is interested in actually learning. 3. Make sure you have a study plan 3-5 days out from a test. It's okay to do all your studying in a week, but do not cram it in on the last day or night. 4. Make a habit of planning out the week's assignments every Sunday or Monday. I like to use Trello. Check the various sites to see what is due in 5-7 days. 5. Take the initiative when forming study groups. Nobody cares how awkward you are, long as you can effectively communicate info read. Help them get a better grade. 6. Quite frankly, don't accept anything less than a B if you want to guarantee a job or internship. Nothing less than an A. You're competing with everyone else, and GPA is one of the best or easiest ways employers can differentiate. This goes double for freshmen and sophomores. Actually, study and find something that works for you for that particular subject. For studying something like math, some people need flashcards to help the formulas stick. Others, like myself, like to see and understand the proof behind a theorem or formula, and that makes it stick. Once you got that down, just crank out some problems and check your answers. Turn on some music or go somewhere with no distractions. For less computational classes, flashcards are still good, as are the graphs. Read the material, watch videos, or just take regular old notes. To go off on a small tangent, you have to learn how you learn, and that's really hard to do. IMO, trial and error though. Took an online math course and failed cause reading math sucks? You might need a lecture. Reading a textbook and your eyes are coming in and out of focus? Spend some effort to get key points onto flashcards and review those, or find some videos of people explaining it. Or both. Just make sure outside sources are reliable and up to date. Complete all assigned homework but still doing poorly in the class? The assigned homework either isn't the correct format for you, or isn't enough. Supplement with your own format or dedicate more time. And we'll end it on that. You can know how you learn and how you study, but if you don't dedicate time, then nothing's going to work. Find the people that are in your major. Those people you will see over and over again in classes. They will be the best to bounce ideas off of, and they're pretty easy to make friends with since you are in class or labs with them. They can have your back if you miss class and need notes. Take notes. Physical written notes. Even if you can't keep up well, draw diagrams of examples the prof is giving. Super useful in STEM fields. Google similar diagrams if you need a little more info. Then, go back and redo your notes in a separate official notebook. The notes will be easier to read. You can include pictures you printed or better drew, and you can condense what you learned and rewrite your notes in your voice. Writing helped me immensely, and crunching back through my notes, words by word less than 36 hours after first writing them really helped. I'd even take lists of info and kinda arrange them into charts to summarize them. Find your place to study and work. For me, it was a couple different corners in the library. If one was taken, I'd use the next one I liked. Remember to switch between studying and having fun, no matter how close is the exam day.